This week is Wildfire Preparedness Week. As climate change worsens and weather events become more and more chaotic, we can expect to continue to see horrible fire seasons well into the future. Yay! But there is a ton of information to be found online, and I'll put a few of the links to them below. Nevertheless, there are just a few key tips that I'd like to highlight right now. First, Napa County is moving away from Nixle. Instead, they're using an app called EventBridge. If you've already subscribed to Nixle, there isn't anything that you have to do. You'll automatically be rolled over into the new app. If you haven't signed up for Nixle, you can find EventBridge in both the Google Play and Apple stores, and it's fairly straightforward setup. Second, in the last half-decade since the 2017 Tubbs fire, the folks at Napa County OES have refined the evacuation process. Using best practices developed in conjunction with surrounding counties, Napa County is now divided into zones. There is a link to finding your evacuation zone in the comment section below. If you live in one part of Napa County but work in another, I strongly recommend you figure out which zone both are in. According to the Napa County OES, tweaks are occasionally made to the zones, so it's a good idea to check to make sure that the zone you think you were in, you're still in. So, check periodically, like every 6 months when you go to change out the batteries in your smoke alarm. And then lastly, like it or not, we are absolutely in a disaster-prone area. Whether it's fires in the summer and fall, floods in the winter, or earthquakes whenever they feel like it, it's important to be prepared, and being prepared is a year-round thing. So here are some useful tips to have in the back of your mind as you're prepping. Have a plan. Know how you will leave and where you will go if advised to evacuate. Keep important papers together and then make copies. It took my in-laws almost a full year to get new copies of their passports, driver's license, birth certificates, etc. after they lost their home in the 2020 lightning complex fire. Fighting with insurance companies is bad enough. Don't try to take on the government bureaucracy too. Then lastly, have a plan B. Identify several places you could go out of the area in case of an emergency. We live in a valley, and there's a better than average chance that what affects one of us will eventually affect all of us. Disaster preparedness isn't fun. It's traumatic and triggering for most of us. Every time I see a wisp of smoke in the hills or think I feel a tremor in the ground, I'm instantly transported back to the 1991 Oakland Hills fire or the 89 Loma Prieta earthquake. It's a little bit like having a will. Disaster preparedness is. It's upsetting, but necessary, and at the end of the day, incredibly important. Links to more disaster preparedness information from Napa County and the Coalition of Organizations Active in Disasters can be found below.